Upon completing the Pyrus project and rebuilding the strata relay, you will get a message that will reward you with a noggle, a pistol riven mod, more importantly, the Zylok. It did turn out to actually be the reward from the event, but it has some major downsides. It's obviously nothing like the Murloc, which is just better in almost every single way, though it does look like they've changed the damage of the Zylok, because I can't remember it doing 78 damage. Kind of reading through the hotfix notes real quick, and there's nothing in there saying that they've changed the stats of the weapon. That's weird, but even the Vasto, it's better than that, so it's weird as to what this thing is meant to be like weapon-wise, but it actually doesn't come across as being that bad till you get to this point. It comes with a catalyst installed, it comes with a weapon slot, as event weapons have done in the past, but it comes with 0 polarities on it. So straight off, this thing is going to need at least 2 Vs, possibly 3 and a dash. Minimum 2 Vs and a dash, which makes it one of those weapons that once you get it, just to try and make it any use, you're going to have to throw at least 3 former at this thing. Of course, one of the first big problems you're going to come across is if you do add 2 Vs and a dash, it will leave you with 12 points and a 99.1% status chance. If you throw Lethal Torrent into that empty space, it won't go to 100% status. It has been built just right to not be able to 100% status chance with all the added multi-shot. So considering this thing basically shoots 1 round at a time, I'm not really sure if running this thing purely elemental with the Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, Scorch and Jolt that you saw on the build just before is actually going to be worth it. Damage wise, yes, they will add more status. It goes to 99.8. The Barrel Diffusion and Lethal Torrent that are in this are going to increase the fire rate from Lethal Torrent, and multi-shot as well, which is why it goes up to the 99.8% status chance. But if you take them out, you get 2 empty slots and the status chance is still 88.4. Yes, the damage numbers can go down. It goes from doing 1183 damage for the elemental side of it to 537, but you've got to remember that is just because multi-shot isn't there. And after using this, 3 former into it, I was going to put a 4th one in there, but the multi-shot didn't seem to be working, which made me just completely rethink how this thing is supposed to be used, because it seems, no matter what people are saying, it seems to shoot 1 round at a time, because people kept telling me, oh, this thing's like a shotgun. It really isn't at all. With it shooting 1 round at a time, the multi-shot doesn't seem to work. It's not like it all of a sudden started firing 2 or 3 rounds at a time. Sometimes there was 2, sometimes it's just the 1. It seems to not have the, with Lethal Torrent 60% multi-shot and Barrel Diffusion by itself being 120% multi-shot, you should be getting 2 or 3 rounds every time you fire. I was seeing sometimes 1, sometimes 2, there was a 3 every now and then, but if it's only really shooting the 1 round, I couldn't really justify leaving Barrel Diffusion and Lethal Torrent in this. But it's also so low on the crit, being an 8% crit chance, that it was just, I couldn't decide what to do. So I just left it at the 2 former, left it with the Barrel Diffusion and Lethal Torrent in there, because the 99.8% status chance on paper should work really well. But the firing mode for this thing was very weird. It's one of those, if you press the trigger, press the fire button once, it will shoot 2 rounds. 1 as you push it down, and 1 as you release. If you want to shoot it 1 round at a time, you have to press fire, keep it held in, and then as you will release, it will release that 2nd round, making it really weird. And this is also why some people probably noticed primed slip magazine was in there, why I put primed slip magazine onto this weapon, because the 8 magazine, you will find yourself reloading because of the way this thing fires and because it uses 2 rounds every time. It may say it's got a capacity of 8 for the magazine, but really it's more like you fire 4 times and then you've got to reload. Whereas with this, you got 6 shots out of it instead of just the 4. So it is much better with the 12 rounds than it was with the 8, and that's where I started to notice a big difference with this. Having those 2 extra rounds, technically 4 if you hold it down and then aim at something else and release, was much better. If it wasn't for that, I was actually getting ready to turn around and say, yeah, the idea is good, it looks good, if you aim it more on the physical side rather than the elemental side, despite that it has all of that element on it. You can just put one elemental combo on it and then throw some physical damage on this and it would be really good, but without a serious 5 for my builds, possibly 6 at that point, this thing was actually quite rubbish. But then I put primed slip magazine on, and not reloading all the time kind of saved this. It's not the best weapon ever. For a event reward, also not the same. But the event, yes, it was time consuming, but it was time consuming in a good way. It wasn't massively grindy because you could go to 4 different planets and take on the Gustag 3 on any of them if they spawned. You also had the Samaris's sanctuary target, which kind of added an aspect that was fun and different. So the event was fun, but this, on the terms of event weapons, there have been way better ones. This is why I still wish there was a weapon rack that you could put into the dojo or on your orbiter, so you could just take weapons like this that are hard to get and put them on the wall rather than just not using them. I will probably revisit this in the future and have a play with it. It's not that bad, it's just the way that it fires, the low magazine, and the fact it didn't go to 100% status was just kind of a letdown. I was really hoping this thing was going to be way better than it was, but it's not that bad. It's just, it was more disappointing than it was bad. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.